Arch Gaming Network is proud to bring you this flash review. Now here's your host, Sean Smith.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be taking a look at Belle of the Ball. It is a card game for 2 to 5 players in which you and your opponents are throwing a party and you are vying for guests, trying to get in the guests that have the most similar interests so that you can get more points and have the most successful party at the end of the game. Let's take a look at how it's played. I'll give you my thoughts in just a moment. Let's go over the components of the game. You have your scorecards, 1 through 60. They come in 3 different cards. You have your tokens. Each player will get 3 of their own color. Then you have the guests. Each of these guests have 3 interests. And what you're trying to do is match guests together that have, say, common interests, okay? And then this symbol signifies what county these players are from. So we'll talk about that in a moment. So those are the guests. Also on the back of these cards, looks like an envelope. These have a dual purpose, so you have guests, and then these are considered regret cards. We'll talk about that in a moment. You then have your bells. Some bells that have mirth. So these bells can help you and help your party and your guests. You have mayhem, signified by the yellow line, and these cards have an immediate effect when they're played. And then you have some bells that are mischief, and you can use these to sabotage your opponent's parties. You have 5 grifters, and these will be added to the guest list, and they have an automatic 3 points scored whenever they are invited to one of your parties. Next, you have the county cards. So these are the various counties where people come from. Each county has its own representation here, which will match the county marker up here. On the other side are not secret powers, but powers that you can use during the game. Each card has different powers. And finally, you have the Belle's Favor card, and this will be given to the player who plays last in the first round. It gives you a special ability, and that ability can change hands during the game. Okay, the instructions explain how you go about getting your guest cards to start the game. You have 3 rooms in your home for guests, and each room can hold 4 guests. So with the 3 that you've received to start the game, you can decide to put them all in one room, separate rooms, however you want to set that up. You're also going to receive 2 county cards. You're going to select one of the powers that you want. This one gives me double points whenever guests score with these interests. And then for the other one, I'll place that face up. And I will put my tokens to the far left. In addition to receiving your 3 guests, you're also going to take 3 cards out of the guest list and turn them over. These are the regrets that you have for the game. Okay, you'll never turn these cards over. Just put them off to the side. Okay, next you're going to take the 5 grifters that you had and shuffle them into the guest list. What this is a line of people waiting to get into a party. This is the front of the line. This is the back of the line, and you can invite any of these 5 guests. On your turn, you will do 3 things. The first thing you can do is play a Belle card. So if you received a Belle card in an earlier round, you can now play this. This one is a mischief. This one you would play against one of your opponents. After you've played a Belle card, or if you want to play a Belle card, you then can invite a guest. You can invite either a Belle, or you can invite just a regular guest from this line. Now, to take a guest at the front of the line is free to do. But let's say you wanted this grifter because they're worth 3 points. You can, on your turn, take any regrets that you have and place them next to the invitees or the guests that you're saying, sorry, you can't come to the party. I would put 2 of these regrets down. And then I could take this grifter. Now I will decide which guest room I want to put them in. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put her there. Now these move down. Okay, so after you've invited a guest, you can now score if possible. So if any of your rooms have 4 guests in them, you can score them now. Let's say I had both of these guests in this room. I now have 4 people in this room, and their common interests will score. So 1, 2, 3 points, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. Plus the grifter gives me 3 points, so this room would be worth 10 points. Something to keep in note, when you take a guest, for example, this guest is from Craw County. All right, see the symbols match? When that happens, you will move this over 1 spot every time you invite someone to your party that's from the county you're looking for. At the end of the game, you'll get bonus points for as far as that has moved to the right. I could also use my special power, but every time I use my special power, I have to move this over 1. So I can use this special power twice during the game. If I don't use it at all, this card will be worth 3 points at the end of the game. Now let's say it's the second player's turn, and they want to grab this person as well. Well, they'll take their own regrets, and they have to add them to the original. And then they can take this one. And so that's how regrets can build up. If at any time somebody takes this guest, they get the regrets that they have accumulated. And then finally, there's this Belle's Favor card, and this allows you to take any of the bells in this line without having to use any regrets. So if I wanted this one, I would place this here. I would take this card for my inventory, and then this can change hands by people taking this card when they invite a guest. You're going to keep playing until all the guests are gone. Once that happens, the game ends. You'll add up any bonus scores from these county and your special power cards. You also get a half a point for every guest you have left at a party, and a half a point for every unused regret. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Okay, so what did I think of the game? Well, it has some interesting components. I mean, the artwork on the cards were pretty good, and you know, you have these county cards. I like the use of, you know, the double-sided usage of them to kind of pack a little more into the box. Having regrets and guests on both sides kind of helps. I was disappointed in the Belle cards. I thought they were a little plain. I understand they gotta explain what the cards do, but for me, I think they should have spruced those up a little bit. The wooden components to keep score, they're just plain. Oddly enough, one of the biggest problems I had was the scorecards coming in 3 different cards. I understand they're trying to make a card game and fit them all together, but the box is long. They could have had one scorecard that ran the length of the box and just put it in there. I wish they would have done that. As far as the gameplay, the basic game I found very boring. It's very repetitive and just kept waiting for that guess line to finish so we could just end the game. With the advanced rules, and I definitely recommend using the advanced rules, the game had some additional uniqueness as far as, you know, which kind of guess you wanted to pick up. The game says it takes 30 to 45 minutes to play, and it feels every bit of that. It isn't quick, so you really can't use it as a filler game. I mean, it's easy enough, but for me, it just wasn't quite my cup of tea. So for those reasons, I give it a 6 out of 10. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to hit the like button below And also take a moment to subscribe to our channel for other great videos. Once again, thanks for stopping by.
This Flash review was brought to you by the Arch Gaming Network. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.